Why? Why must we keep disrespecting hip hop? Now, this is just my opinion. I'm a little older, a little young in the tooth, some would say, but just why? I'm watching this interview with BigX Tha Plug, talking to two guys from Popcast, and he's talking about going from hip hop to country music, and I noticed something there in this shift where the energy changed a bit. Let's check it out.
Artistic.
Okay.
Because in my head, I was trying to, whatever I do, I want to be the best at it.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And so I feel like I'm not just a hip hop artist. I'm an artist.
Yeah.
If I could auto tune some stuff up, I feel like I could be the best singer in the world. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
sure.
Like whatever I do, I want to be the best at it. And so I want to be the.
If I could auto tune some stuff up, I could be the best singer in the world. That's not how that works, my guy. I can't sing worth a damn. I don't care what kind of auto tune you put on this voice. I'm not going to sound like Chris Brown, Tank, Luther Vandross, none of the greats. That's not how that works. And the problem is, I think that you think that's how it works. But carry on.
Best artist in the world. The only way I can do that is if I can show that I can do something other than rap.
And go out to the world.
Exactly.
Like it's like touring Europe. It's like I got to go visit with y'all and see what you guys are.
Now, see, already we have a problem. We have a problem already. To feel like he wants to be the biggest artist in the world, he has to leave rap. When arguably one of the biggest artists in the world is Drake. Arguably one of the biggest artists in the world is Drake. What some may consider a hip hop artist. Some would consider pop. Argue with whoever you want to argue with. Let's take Kendrick. One of the biggest artists in the world, globally, hip hop. And then my man says, oh, you want to go out to the world? Like hip hop don't reach that far. Like hip hop doesn't have the reach for it to be a global thing. Hip hop, I would argue, is the biggest culture. Yeah.
Going on.
And so with me saying that and us doing the whole country, we was like, bet, let's do it. And so we went head first into it. And we worked at that. We probably been doing this country project maybe a year and a half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, people in Nashville that I was talking to about it last year, you know, or like Ernest and those guys, like they were already either submitting songs or had done sessions with you all the way back then.
And at the same time, you have Take Care, your previous release.
That took maybe 6 months.
But that one was still growing and growing, and you put out the deluxe, and the songs are in commercials and movies and going up on streaming. So you sort of you could let that do its thing in the background as you worked on this new phase.
But just still, I've never, ever spent that long on a project.
Is that because of the different production and writing approaches of the Nashville people?
The country music, for one, hip hop and country music, they both have the same base, which is storytelling.
Yes.
It all goes back to story. You can tell a good story, you can sell any record.
Yeah.
So with me, with that being said, but the country lane is still different. They put a lot more into it, and I think that's what made me love it. Like it's a love-hate relationship. And I'm gonna be completely, it's a love-hate relationship.
Yeah.
I love the fact that they put so much into it, but I hate the fact that the process is so long. Yeah, it's slow.
They're very detail-oriented.
For sure.
And see, here's the thing. Well, you have an artist who openly confessed that first of all, he didn't necessarily want to be an artist, right? And didn't really want to rap. So, you know, he got his homeboys who do rap to write a lot of his raps. Like the big single, the biggest, I think, is one of his partners that's on his label or his cousin or something like that. Don't quote me on that part, but I think he wrote the whole entire record, right? So when you don't want to do the records anyway, or you're a little lazy with being creative, if you are creative, because I'm not sure if that would make him a creative. If you have everybody around you doing the things and then you just repeat everything, then you technically have no ideas. And I mean that from like Like, is it where does it start? Is it from inception? Like, is it from like who has the idea for the titles? Who does cover art? Who does the photo shoot? The look you're going to do, right? You got people writing the songs. Are people crafting the whole entire thing? So I wouldn't necessarily put him in the creative bag. Now, I don't know this for sure. I'm just saying, if this is the thing, then he wouldn't be creative. And I can understand how the writing process would be something you hate, because a creative loves to get in that bag of storytelling. You talked about how much storytelling is to both genres of country music and hip hop, but you said country music is a bit more because of the time and the stories they tell, but you don't like to do it, which technically you don't like to do both. So how does that work? And I mean that respectfully. I just, these are questions I ask myself as I'm watching this video.
For sure.
Because so it was like, all right, this verse, it's not quite right. We need a different line here. We need a different rhyme here. We need a different word.
And I'm talking about they're so like, they go all the way to like just the cadence. Like,
of course.
Like record this again.
I've watched Post Malone sit in a booth and just go like just trying to find his cadence for 30 minutes.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, that's cool that, you know what I'm saying, y'all start all the way.
You got to start looking at in different genres of music. First of all, every genre of music takes time when people care about the art that they're creating, no matter what it is. And when it comes to like recording overdubs or just doing background vocals or focusing on your ad libs, and pop, hip hop, R&B, soul, country. If you care about the craft, sometimes it takes a little longer depending on the artist and the creator, right? So I don't take that long in the booth when it comes to writing anything, right? But then somebody like Nipsey, rest in peace, who was it took Nipsey down there 1 week to do a whole song. He just writes slower than the average person, right? And I'm not sure if he got better closer to his time checking out, you know. But when I've seen him write sessions, I've seen him write in, it took damn near like a week for like one record. Don't mean nothing to me. He's a creative, so I don't care about time as long as the record's dope. And he was always producing dope music. So sometimes it just takes longer. But if you don't really mix around and you don't really get around in the genres and mess with these artists and collab, then you wouldn't know that. So he's kind of like, for the first time doing country, working with country artists, for the first time actually being a hip hop artist, and then you just comparing the two. So, you know what I mean? Like, you know?
From there, but
I got places to be.
So, but like I said, it's a love-hate relationship, but I love that they care about the story. Like it's never changes. It's always gonna be a story. It's always gonna be a storyline. Rap music, I love rap. I love hip hop, but I feel like that's what it has been missing.
Well, it's what used to be central to hip hop, and I think is decreasingly central to hip hop right now. And that's not to take away from people who are more melody focused or energy focused or whatever,
or like stream of consciousness,
but
it's
lyrics,
not whatever.
It's not the '90s anymore.
But see, that's where I come from, though. You know,
right.
so I'm riding around with my mama, and we listening to UGK, who talking straight. You know what I'm saying?
Storytelling, Southern storytelling.
So I come now. That's why I don't listen to rap. I like I said, you got people who they doing they big one.
Yeah,
but that's just it's not. I believe in substance and there actually being something in the music.
Now he's definitely right about that. You know, and it's not. This is more so not my opinion. It's the facts. You can hear the music, right? And if you live long enough, then you know what it came to, where it started off, what it came to be, where it started dropping off, where once corporate get a hold of something, it's kind of like jazz. Once the corporate jump in and use their dollars, then it can pretty much kill a genre, because you start leading the people with the money. They'll follow the money, and then they follow the system of how to make a quote unquote hit record. Once everybody starts focusing on how to make a quote unquote hit record, or how to make the fast assembly line of hit records, like these little rules you take to make hit songs, or don't write a verse this long, and don't make the melody sound like this, and then go to a bridge, and that's the formula. Once you start doing formulaic music like that, it gets lost. The genre start putting out trash, and then we all looking around like, well, what happened, right? So in that point, they're right about that. It's been trash, and I can admit that. But the way I speak on hip hop, the fact that I know that there are people, the real artists out here that are really doing a thing, you just got to dig in the crates a little bit. There's a new artist coming out all the time that's super dope. R&B, hip hop, jazz, right? People think jazz is such an older genre of music. It's for sure, but there's new young jazz musicians out here that are killing it. Excuse me, different genres of new jazz rap, jazz R&B, right? So you can always find the dope stuff if you're out there looking for it. But if you're not looking, you listen to the radio or you going by what's charting, then it looks like hip hop is dead or dying, which we have another issue with that, but we'll talk about that in a second.
And so I feel like that's what I tried to bring back when I came. Actual storytelling, actual substance, something that you have been through and can relate to, not just something that's catchy.
And did you get good at it in the process of recording these country style verses?
Oh, for sure. I feel like that's what got me as far as it got me before I did this country stuff.
Right. And that's what I was saying, where it's like you already had it, and now you've like really sharpened it down so you can fit in between these big country hooks on this album.
Exactly. Because a lot of these artists, I made the song with them before I even seen them in person.
Like you were getting the demos and the reference tracks, the hooks.
And so whenever I would hear it, I'm like, man, this is hard. Well, I wonder what they was going through. You know what I'm saying? For them to even make this. And then I meet Ella Langley, you know what I'm saying? People like that, and they look you in your eyes and was like, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm like, what you taking me for? You just don't even know. I was going through something and you just helped me not even knowing it. Like, and I said it earlier. I love country because I feel like they're more united.
As a genre.
As a genre.
And as an industry.
It's like one team.
And I
one big
love
team.
that. I love that. Like hip hop, you got your certain group, but it's still more individual. Country, everybody is everybody. You know what I'm saying?
I remember, I think when Jelly was here, he said something to the effect of, like, he was nominated for some, I can't remember what the award was, but he was nominated for some award. And he was like, it's as if all of Nashville was nominated for the award. He's like, when I was rapping, I felt like I was doing something for myself and me.
Now, I don't necessarily have a problem with this per se, but there's an undertone when you compare hip hop and country music in the way that he's comparing it, right? And it's a tricky topic and subject. It's a reason why. Now, this is a whole other conversation, and I won't get into it here. But there's a reason why rap music is divided like it is, right? Because there's a way that it was put together. There's a way that the corporate dollar was poured into the genre and the type of songs and the type of music they promote. It's if you're flooding the airwaves with a certain type of music or the television programs or flooding the type of music, marketing into a certain kind of genre or a certain kind of sound, specific sound of a genre in a certain kind of way. And then the mind start pulling in this thing and taking all this stuff in. It's the energy that's created from that. And from that energy, the vision comes, right? If you're promoting, like West Coast at one point, gangster rap, or Midwest in drill rap, right? It's like street music, gangster music, whatever you want to call it. And then people start to follow that pattern because the corporate dollars start pointing to that. Oh, let's look for the next G Herbo. Let's look for the next Ice Cube and Dre and them. Let's look for the next King Von, and let's look for the next. So they start pointing to those cats or people like them. Then it creates this whole atmosphere of just a negative kind of like dark energy rap, right? And in that mode, that's tied to these people are tied to the streets. So now it's all division, right? Because eventually you're going to rap about it. You can't be in the same places with cats because the energy is just different, right? So of course there's a division when it's a systemic approach to how we're going to take this culture, grape this culture, and then spew it out to the people, take our millions, and then drain the energy from it. And then maybe let it die. That's why, if you notice, a lot of the people at the labels or these big investors are coming in and buying catalog because they know it's a dying genre. When I say genre, I'm talking about they're trying to kill the culture of hip hop because they don't mess with breaking. They don't mess with graffiti. They don't mess with DJing. Breaking every year has global competitions all over the world where people all over the world are going to Tokyo, Japan, Australia, having huge competitions, people breaking all over the world. That's not a dying culture. Though you don't see breaking in videos or breaking on a new McDonald's commercial, but trust me, people are breaking all over the world. DJ competitions all over the world. It's a global thing, right? Graffiti, go anywhere in the world, you can find people bombing, pieces, all kind of things all over the world, brand new right now, right? So when you just kill rap and you say rap is the genre of hip hop, it's disrespectful to the elements, right? Because you have 4 elements. And outside of those elements, it being a culture for so long, you got to add slang to that, right? There's where there are ways you talk and dance outside of breakdancing. That's hip hop, right? So it's hip hop is much bigger than just rap music. We've stated that. I did an interview with Glass of Malone that you can check on my channel where he talks about the same thing. It's so disrespectful, you know. And as I look at that interview, I'm not mad at BigX Tha Plug because you can tell in my the way I'm looking at the video when I see him do interviews, he seems like he got a good spirit. And he's just going by what he's been seeing in the industry. Ain't been in the industry long. He's been dealing with some people. Country music has always seemed united because it has. But also country music didn't suffer from what we suffer from. It didn't go through what we went through. We all have our pain, but the pain is different, right? There's a divisiveness to happen. What happened with rap music and hip hop that I thought that this story has been told thousands and thousands of times again. So when people talk like that, in my opinion, I'm like, oh, they don't get it, or they're willfully leaving it out. And I don't think he's omitting anything. I think he just didn't get it. He don't get it, and that's fine. But that's why videos like these are made. Hopefully, somebody listens to my video like, oh, he made a great point about why we shouldn't do that or why we shouldn't talk down on the genre that we love. See, a lot of y'all love rap. I love it all. Born in this hip hop. I'm a hip hop baby. Born and raised. I did all the things. I love it all. Every element, every part of it. I am hip hop. I talk hip hop. I walk hip hop. I am hip hop. So, and it's not an old school thing. I'm talking about all the elements, new to old. If you old and dope, young and dope, I don't care. I just like dope. Period. You know what I mean? And it's not everything's not boom bap and everything is not club or drill or whatever the case may be. Everything ain't about whatever's going on now, as long as it's dope. So salute to BigX Tha Plug. I'm not mad at him. Salute to him. You know, but I hope he changes tune. Hip hop ain't a stepping stone. You don't use hip hop like a lot of these other rappers. We're not gonna name, we're not gonna point out, and we're not gonna point out what they look like. How they use rap as a stepping stone to create the fame, create the numbers, and then leave rap to the side like an old rag, and then turn it to who they really want to be. And now they all are flourishing in a whole nother genre that they couldn't start with their own careers. I shouldn't have to say any names. So I'll let you figure it out. Peace.